Hello everyone, I'm Sean and welcome to the Race Monkey. I finally got the Mercedes Benz GLE in the Race Monkey garage. Ever since this car was launched a few years ago, I was yearning to get it behind the wheels of this one. And all I got was the GLE 53 AMG Coupe, which perhaps is an amazing car still, but this really is the business end for Mercedes Benz India. Quite a popular car amongst the luxury car buyers. It is not the BMW X5 or the Volvo XC90. It is this that people choose to buy. Now, there are a lot of great things that are going on for this model year 2024, especially with the few updates that Mercedes-Benz has done for the model years of 2024 in general. Now, this particular one is fitted with the M256 inline 6-cylinder 3000cc turbo petrol motor, which is smooth as Amul butter. And we will talk about how it drives later on in this video. But before that, let's get inside the car and talk to you more about how it feels on the inside and what all updates have happened in the interiors of the new Mercedes Benz GLE. So I have worn my pajamas because the interiors really depict a business class flight when you're doing your work trips or long distance road trips with the family. It is just so comfortable on the inside. Now, to start off with, the interiors aren't very different from what we had in the GLE 53 AMG that we drove a couple of days ago, minus the fact that you don't get the AMG steering wheel that we had in the GLE 53, which had Alcantara on the side and a flat bottom. This steering wheel setup is a straight takeaway from the current generation of the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and the E-Class, which tells that this is more oriented towards luxury than outright performance. Now, everything that you see on the inside and even what you touch is very, very high quality. You've got leather on top of the dashboard. You've got this beautiful unfinished wood paneling over here that runs across the car. You've got this yacht style wood paneling over here with an openable cup holder which can accommodate 1 liter bottles. And you also have a drinks cooler and warmer over here as a standard fitment in this car. Now, you sit very high in the seat and it does make you feel that you're driving a proper SUV. Everything that you see is very ergonomically designed. The way everything is engineered, especially the buttons and the touch controls, make your life on the road very, very simple. I detest all these brands moving towards the high-tech touchscreens that cover the entire central console of the car. Well, Mercedes has stayed true to its roots when it comes to ergonomics and engineering, at least in this generation of the Mercedes-Benz GLE. Now you get the latest MBUX system over there with the 10.25-inch touchscreen for the multimedia interface and your instruments panel as well. Now you get multiple themes for the instrument, such as understated, sports, classic, and full navigation screen. You also get a very intuitive heads-up display which has different themes as well. I especially like the theme where you can switch it to the off-road mode and you can see the pitch and roll of the car and the direction in which you're going. It's a very detailed heads-up display that comes, and I haven't seen it in any other car, even the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, for instance. Where you get physical buttons and rockers for the air conditioning, which is a big advantage that the Mercedes-Benz GLE has over its competition. Everything feels great to touch and great to hold as well. You've got this leather wrapped handle over here, which is pretty helpful when you're doing uphill drives and you don't want to rock around much. What is also a great addition, especially in this 2024 avatar of the GLE, is this touchpad, which helps you scroll through the MBUX touchscreen without leaning towards the touchscreen, and which is especially useful when you're doing long distance trips and don't want to get distracted while doing triple digit speeds. You got this massive panoramic sunroof which goes all the way till the back and filters in quite a lot of light from the outside, especially with some nice and sunny day. This interior feels very expansive, absolutely wonderful. And oh, not to forget, it gets the Burmester surround sound system, which is an epic setup. This is the real business end of the Mercedes Benz GLE, the back seat. And the experience is absolutely top notch. This is one of the most comfortable back seats in this segment. You don't get a good back seat experience in the BMW X5, nor is the back seat of the Audi Q7 or the Volvo XC90 as cushy as this one. It is very much comparable to what you get in the RX 500h, but this just outscores even that. Now, to start off with, I'm 5 feet 8 inches tall. This driving seat has been adjusted as per my driving style. I've got tons of knee room, loads of headroom as well. You get these beautifully cushioned headrests over here, which can make you sleep while you're doing long distance journeys. The back support is very well cushioned, and while you're doing hundreds of kilometers from your city to another, you just won't feel tired at all. What I found in the BMW X1 is the backseat experience is very stiff and it is more oriented towards sporty driving. Here in the GLE, it's just fantastic. You get this massive armrest in the middle as well, where you got rubberized areas where you can put your devices. A little cubby hole over here with felt lining on the inside where you can store your jewelry, and it also has two Type-C chargers. Now, you've got a 4-zone climate control system which works really effectively. What you also get is this cup holder over here which can accommodate large 1 liter or 1.5 liter bottles with absolute ease. Massive sunroof on top of me, which does make this cabin feel even more airy. And you can recline or move your seat ahead for maximum luggage space and move it back for maximum legroom. You also get these electric window blinds, which you don't get in the cars of its competition, which just makes this backseat experience very, very luxurious. Hats off for Mercedes Benz for engineering such a brilliant car, which is a great and comfortable cruiser for the luxury car buyer. Now we're done talking about the interiors of the GLE. Let's get back behind the wheel and talk to you more about how it is to drive on the highway. Now, out on the highway, the GLE 450 is a fantastic car. This 3000cc inline-6 M256 engine is butter smooth. I keep on telling people around me that Mercedes-Benz in today's time is making some of the best inline-6 petrol engines. They are fantastic. Like, So there are a few changes done to the 2024 GLE. To start off with, you get these new styled headlamps which have these two LEDs at the bottom which denote that this is the E-Class. This style would also be carried forward to the E-Class sedan, and it's here in the GLE as well. You get these air dams over here which have been redesigned from the previous generation, and with the body colored appliques, they do look quite modern, to be honest, and they really give the GLE a fresher face. Here on the side, nothing much has changed. You still get these massive 20-inch rims which are from the AMG line of cars, and on the side the entire design integration is exactly the same as it was before in the pre-facelift of the GLE. Once you come to the back, what has changed at large is only integrated into this tail lamp cluster. You now get a more smoked LED tail lamp with two LED elements at the back, which is the only distinction done to the rear of the GLE. And surprisingly, you still get a fake exhaust tip at the back. I mean, it's a petrol powered car. Mercedes, you could have done better by giving real exhausts at the back, which is not the case with the GLE 53 AMG. That's all about the exterior of the GLE of 2024. Let's get back inside the car and talk to you more about how it drives. So we will now switch to off-road mode in the drive program that basically locks up the differential and gives you maximum traction when you're going off the route. What we have in front of us is Fesh, which is the thinnest sort of sand dunes which literally are vaporized once you put them in your hands, and we are trying to get some traction out of it. We are running on standard tire pressures. It's not that we lowered the tire pressures for maximum grip in these sand dunes, but the way this GLE is going through this terrain is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you don't really feel that this is going to get stuck, although sand dunes are pretty thick over here on the outskirts of Manesar. Absolutely fantastic. So you can take the GLE on the off-road trails just like the normal GLEs and the GLE 53 AMG, but the better part is that it does not feel as less aggressive as, let's say, the BMW X5 or the Volvo XC90. Now, although this gets the off-road mode, it does not get the bounce feature that you get in the international GLEs, which might not be a great thing for people considering a car at this price point. So in the off-road mode, when we do proper off-roading and we go over the rocks, we switch to the camera mode. The clarity of the camera and the graphics that you see over here of the car with the route around is absolutely fantastic. You can actually see each and every grain in front of the car very precisely. Mercedes Benz's UI is far better than what you get in the BMW or Audi when it comes to overall camera quality. Now, after switching to off-road mode in the GLE 450, the suspension raises the ride height and it makes it a far easier experience to go off the beaten path. Now we see a lot of craters in front of us. There is quite a lot of undulation and this is a steep incline. Now with the Pirelli P0s that come as a standard fitment on this GLE 450 AMG line, and with a full tire pressure of 28 and 30 psi, it is quite an effortless experience to ride this GLE over bad roads and big bumps, especially up the hill. As you can see right now, we are trailing up the hill towards the main road on Leopard Trail, and it was just effortless.
And unlike the GLE 53 AMG, this is not a corner carver. This is a very smooth, softly sprung family SUV that would do a bit of cornering, but nothing that would excite you every day.
Out in the city, the GLE 450 feels very, very special. Now, in the last 2 days, I've fallen under the weather and I have been in a bit of an uncomfortable situation while working. But whenever I come back in the GLE, go back home or go to work, it just feels so relaxing to drive and spend long hours in. Now, I have to whisper to you while I'm driving through the city, doing at about 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, because it is that quiet. The M256 inline six turbocharged petrol engine literally makes you feel as if you're driving an electric car because it's that quiet. Even still, Mercedes Benz has done quite a lot of sound insulation between the engine bay and the cabin, which perhaps results into a very, very quiet cabin. Now, I have switched the blower setting of the air conditioning to 1, and the sound from the sound system is absolutely muted. And it's such a relaxing time that I am spending over here behind the wheel of the GLE 450 that I just cannot explain. I can do hundreds of kilometers in a day without feeling lethargic. It's that comfortable. And it is also this comfort in the GLE 450 which is getting super popular amongst the luxury car buyers. The way this car has been engineered, it's just phenomenal. You've got glazed windows over here, you got everything on the inside which is high quality. When you're spending time on the road, especially when you're working around through the city and you have to drive a lot, the GLE 450 takes care of you in very wholesome ways.
So then, the Mercedes Benz GLE 450 is an absolutely fantastic luxury SUV. It is for the discerning few that really have a great taste in cars, and the way it has been packaged for the year 2024, it just tops the game that it's playing in the industry. And then some.
So the GLE 450 4MATIC, this is the absolute choice for all luxury car buyers when they really want an SUV in their garage. No wonder it has been raking up the sales numbers for Mercedes-Benz, and it has been competing against some of the very best SUVs in the market, be it the Range Rover Sport, the BMW X5 and the Volvo XC90. And the new entrant, of course, the Lexus RX 500h, which is the direct competitor to this car. Now, everything aside, Mercedes-Benz's legacy, the community and the quality is committed in wholesome ways, and it has been there for the last 30 years. I myself have been a fan of the Mercedes-Benz moniker for the last 2 decades and a half. And honestly speaking, nothing compares to it. Even today, the GLE, previously which was the ML, still commands respect on the road. And in this 450 4MATIC Avatar with the M256 engine, it has got the performance which is very close to the GLE 53 AMG that we had a couple of days ago. And it also has the poise of a nice, luxurious Mercedes-Benz. So it is a win-win situation for this 2024 Avatar even today. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please wear your seatbelts. Goodbye.